Hey, what's up everybody? It's me, Witchy Poo, from the Witchy Poo's Costumes and the Paranormal, and today I'm doing costumes. Well, actually, I'm going to be doing a pair of pants. So, if you remember, in one of my previous videos, I did a pair of cargo shorts. And I think I remember I'm going to also do a pair of cargo pants as well. But also, a friend of mine wants me to also make her a pair of the cargo pants. That was my phone. So, I got me the pattern again. I already cut out all the patterns. Because here's the, I'll be making this one, this one right here. Gotta make sure, gotta keep remembering the camera does everything opposite. So, I'm doing this one right here. When I cut out the pattern pieces, I had made sure that I had, because I'm going to be cutting out some new pattern pieces for it. So I have my main pattern pieces, and then I'll have pattern pieces for each different sizes from this pair. And this goes up to from a size 6 to a size 14. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make me some new pattern pieces, and when I cut this out, if you plan on doing this yourself, which I'm going to show you, that's my friend walking upstairs, make sure you cut out the very largest size. Now when you get to the sizes that edges to where there's extra length to it, let me show you a better one that has that going on. Yeah, here we go. There's be the crotch area, basically. Like right here. You also want to make sure the same thing. You want to cut out the largest size, but there's going to be different. Let me get a little closer so you can see. Because in here, as you can see, there are different levels right here on the pattern. You want to make sure you don't cut that out. You want to leave those in. So when you do the size you need, like because the first size I'm going to do is a size 14, and the size 14 is technically at this very last line here. So I got to make it in a way, try to curve all of this inwards so I can make sure I got that curved seam in there. And we also doing it, you're also going to be making your little pattern where everything's supposed to be. Now, as I said before, this is a little too small, so I'm going to widen it up just basically a 1/4 of an inch, and that's about it, to help get that layering, which you saw in the previous video about the fly zipper, and we can go and get the fly zipper done. How to do a fly zipper, because technically I'll probably be going back to that same video again, to that person's site. As I said, you also want to make sure you mark all your markings that are on the pattern as well. Now you can do it in different ways. You can either do it in the muslin piece, but one thing about the muslin, when you do it in fabric, you're not going to get those sharp edges that you're going to need to make sure you're making a full line. Plus it will fray, and to keep it from fraying, you have to serge it all. Every single piece you got to serge. I'll show you on that, because I did that myself on some pattern pieces as well. So as I said, you can do it in fabric, and you have to serge every single piece before you even start cutting out the pattern itself on fabric itself. So on your main fabrics. Also, you can also do it, let's say I need to make, since I'm making my friend's pair size into her size, I want to make sure I got the right size, so I'm going to cut it in the muslin, her basic pair of pants. Because with the muslin, I can adjust if does she need it bigger or a little bit smaller. At least it's in the muslin and I can fix it in that and readjust all the pattern pieces for that. So the other way to do it is using this paper here, which you can get at I think it's called Design on Paper, which you can get at any hardware store. Because they use this when they're doing buildings and stuff like that. But as I said, I'm going to be doing it in that piece there. So, let me get slowly started here. So, I'm going to, one thing you gotta understand, once you get it, it's going to be curly. You gotta get it uncurled, which is so much fun. So, you gotta make sure you have weight on one end. And you're not seeing it, it's rolling back on me. Oh, hold on, let me show you. Give me a second. Okay, now the rest of the video you're not going to be seeing me. So, what I'm gonna, as you see, it will curl because it's been in that position for quite a long time. So, make sure your fabric is your pattern, your paper is even. It's just curling on me. So you're going to have to find some weights to put on it. And I didn't get my weights ready, sorry. So, I'm going to probably put some of my pieces up here that I have on my back table. That's behind me. Now it won't roll on. Now I got to do this side. That will stay down. I guess I'll use a comb. Doesn't matter what you, well, maybe I won't use my comb. Got hair all over it. I think the other one I'm going to use my pins because you're going to need stick pins for all this right here. Because you need to keep your patterns down. Let's see if I can. Let me adjust this a second. Oh, go the other way. Okay, can't see much, but yeah. As I said, you're going to need these stick pins. I use stick pins in all my patterns when I'm cutting them out because it keeps the, as I said, it keeps the pattern more stable than anything. I had a 5 out. So now I'm going to place all the patterns on here. Grab the rest. And when you're doing it this way, you don't have to worry about the arrows on here because you'll be marking arrows on the pattern itself. So I'm going to put get all the smaller pieces first so I can get those going. Because the first size you're going to actually cut out is the biggest size first. Now if you're not going to be cutting anything for anybody else and you're just doing it for yourself, then and you really love the pattern a lot, and these do for a really good. They will tear apart really, really fast. So, let's say you like these cargo pants. I really love these cargo pants. Who knows? I'm gonna make a lot more, at least for myself. And if anybody out there who wishes to wishes for me to make you a pair of cargo pants, just put it down in the comments down below. And before I continue on, yeah, don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button down below. And I am trying to at least reach 1,000 subscribers right now. So definitely go out there and tell your friends and family about. I do a lot of stuff about costumes I have done, costumes I'm about to start, or outfits like the pants I'm about to make. Just let them know and tell them to go check out my video and hit the subscribe and like button. Okay, so let's get back to what I'm doing. Okay, as I said, but if you want your own just for yourself, just cut out the size that you need that will fit you. So, and just make a permanent pattern for yourself, because this is going to be a permanent pattern for quite some time. And who knows, I might have to redo it again, because sometimes even these can go away, but not as quickly as these will. So the only reason why I did it in the fabric, because it's easy to put away and stuff. With paper, they get once you get everything folded and stuff, it gets a little bit bulky. That's the only difference between doing and in the fabric, and plus you have to serge everything. This you don't have to serge, and you know your markings are going to be in this exact same spot. So now, like I said, I'm going to cut all these sizes here, because this one goes from number 5 of the pattern piece here has 3 different sizes. The other 5 has 2, and I'm going to be cutting out a size 6 for her. So I'm going to go ahead and just make all of the different sizes. So, as I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. So, you're just going to cut these as you feel fit to yourself. I'm not going to need that. Over here. Well, it looks like I'm not going to fit everything on here, so I'm going to try to do some readjusting here so I can try to get everything on here. So I'm going to go ahead and start cleaning as much as I can right now. This is going to be on a straight line. I'm just going to cut this on a straight line. I need my glasses. I can't see. I just looked in my cup and there's dead spiders in there. That was a little creepy. That was creepy. Okay. Now, when you actually get to the, once you finish your first cutout, then you go back to these again, and you're going to cut out the next size. So you can get the correct size for the other one. And you're going to keep doing that continuously on throughout the whole pattern. So you're going to have at least up to 5 sets of this paper. It's the same thing with the fabric. You're going to have that much in fabric as well. So that's the reason. The other reason why I don't do it in the muslin is because you're going to need a lot of muslin doing this, and using the paper is so much easier because it comes in one big fat roll. So, and that roll will last you for quite some time. Sorry, my phone went off again. Okay, I haven't put everything down just yet, because I want to stop and show you a couple things. Now, as I said before, because there's a lot of markings on these, because you definitely got to make sure you put these lines in, because without those, you're not going to know where to make sure where everything is getting placed. Like your gray line, grain line, because the grain line tells you, because it depends upon where your fabric is. Because if you got to go with the flow of the fabric going down. So, because if you cockeyed it too much, as I said in my other one, it will start drooping in that one area, and you don't want that unless the pattern itself tells you to do that. But also on here, like these, shows you the 2 dots, which you can't really see. They have 2 dots on here. If I don't put those on here, the I will not know where to place the belt loops. And also it tells you your center front, because if you don't know where your center front is on here, you're not going to put it in the right spot. Like making sure your arrows match with your other arrow on here. So definitely put in your arrows. Whatever marking is on here, put the markings on here. As well as writing on here what type of, where you got the pattern from, like McCall's, and then write down the pattern number, and then also write what size you had cut out. Like I'm doing a 14, so when I get this all cut out, I'm going to write a number 14 down below, or well, write size 14. So when I go back to getting these patterns again, I know what sizes I need to grab. Like over here, it has your pocket lines. You gotta make sure those are in as well, because without those, you're not going to know where to put the pocket. Pocket down here below your leg. The ones on the top, you can actually just make sure you don't get it up too high in the back pants, because excuse me, because I believe in the back ones, they don't show where to put the pocket. So just make sure you don't get it too high up onto the waist and not too low. I would suggest to look at another pair of pants that you have and see where they put the pocket and how far down below they have it from the waistline. So, so I'm going to, like this has a pleat, I want to make sure I get that pleat line in here. Because without that pleat line, it's not going to look right on your, because when you're going to put another pocket, if you put another pocket on top of it, which this time I'm not going to be doing that, I'm just going to stick with the one pocket. You need to know, make sure that's small enough for that pocket. And also on here, like the length as well, you need to write down, okay, this is for size, it will tell you the placement line for certain things on here. So you want to make sure that is on there. And then also, if you need, like these double lines down here, which I don't know if you can see it or not, maybe if you zoom in more, there's 2 double lines. There's your lengthen or shorten lines. So if I want to lengthen it, I'll cut that in the middle and spread it apart. If I want to shorten it, I go from there and shorten it up this way. Which I'm not doing any shortening up, because one, she's kind of tall, so she'll probably have this full length pant. For me, I probably will have to shorten it because I'm short, unfortunately. So, and follow the measurements that are on the pattern on the back, because when you usually do pant length, you usually go from the inside seam and down, because that will give you a good length. But with this one, they have it where you're, let me show you, from here, from your waist tip and down to wherever, how long you want it. But I didn't do that with her because normally I do the inseam. But unfortunately, this one wants you to do the outer hip instead. But I know she's tall. I can actually shorten it later if need to. But if I need to lengthen it, that's why I'm going to cut it her size in the muslin to make sure that her length is perfect. No matter who I cut for, I always cut it in the muslin first. Have people try it on, make sure it actually fits properly. If it does not fit properly, at least it's not in the fabric itself. So I can make sure it is correct. Unfortunately, yeah. So, because if you go ahead and cut the pattern pieces in the fabric itself, and they try it on, and it doesn't fit properly, like let's say you figure she's from the measurements you got, it says okay, she's a size 6, so I'm going to be cutting out a size 6, and she tries it on and it's too small. Yeah, you can widen it out a little bit in the seams, but it is best to find out in the muslin, because that means if she is a little bit bigger than what you have cut in the basic fabric, that means you're going to have to buy that fabric all over again and cut it in a bigger size. So you won't waste your fabric, always cut it in the muslin first and have them try it on, because then you can do all the adjustments you need in the muslin. So I am going to the next piece you'll end up seeing is me already have everything pre-cut, and then I'm going to get a little closer view on when I am actually making the inner sides. Okay? Well, marking all my lines out so you can get a better clue on that. So here we go. Okay, as you see, I've already cut out some of the powdered pieces. Now, as I said, when you get to the one, hold on, let me cut this extra out of here. Remove so you can see just a little bit better. Alright. I'm now into the section that has where the line sits right in here. Let me see if I can get this a little bit closer so you can see it. The pattern itself. Angle a little bit more. Let's see if I can see it, what I'm doing. Okay. Let me cut this little piece off here so we can see. Alright. As you can see right in here, there is different little lines in here. So what I'm going to end up doing be easier to get to the size 14, because the size 6 goes a little further out, but you won't need all of this for that size 6. Well, not 16. Size 6. Not 16, 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a marker, because you're going to need a marker for everything else. I'm just going to try my best to get the line here as perfect as I can. And I'm going to mark that line Yeah, it's a little bit of a nuisance trying to do this. But I don't know if this will bleed through. No. So you don't want it to bleed. No, it kind of bleeds through. And I will get that marking there for me. And the same thing is going to be up in here as well. So I'm going to, this part might be a little bit easier. Maybe not. You get your stick pins. So I'm just going to try to mark that beginning circle edge there. You know, this line is going to stay. As you can tell, this line is going to stay there. And then it starts spreading off. So yeah, that's going to be perfect. And as I said, once you get done with the pattern, the first thing you're going to end up doing is, let me get up to it, one of the other pieces here that I've already done. Let's go with this one because you can see this a lot better. What you're going to need to do is, yeah, you could use your marker, it will go through to get the things you need, but the ink will actually will start messing with the tissue paper and it's going to start shredding a lot. Well, it's your choice. You can either use a marker, and if you can find a, I'm going to put it in here, hold on a second. Let's find it. Yeah, here it is. And if you can find like one of these that has none of the ridges, it'll be perfect, because you're going to take this, you're going to make sure you get this notch in, because without the notch you're not going to know where the next notch is supposed to attach to for here, to the next pattern. You probably can see this, because this notch will end up matching with this notch here. And if you don't have those notches on there, you're not going to know, because you're going to end up putting this with this instead, and it's going to really mess up how you, because this is the waist belt. So you do not want to mess that up. So you don't want to put it in the wrong spot. So definitely, even the ones down below, since this one here is a size 12 that I cut out, you want to make sure you do the notch for the 12. Or whatever size pattern you have cut. Then like this is the center front, so I want to at least make sure I make this line here for the center front. So I know that's going to be my front. And then you have your grain line. You definitely want to have your grain line. You can do the full arrow, or you can just put that full arrow, or you can just make a line and then you can make your own arrows on this piece. Now the next one on here, you see is the box. And you definitely want to cut out your little boxes, or you can just make an X. I would just make an X, it's just easier to make the X. And the same thing here, I'm going to get my notch line in here, and this one's basically a 14. So every time you go down the sides, just make sure you get the correct notch on there. So the notch will match the bottom of the pant notch. So once you get that done, you're going to undo this, undo the pattern, then go back to your lines again. You're going to remark your lines with the marker. Try your best with making straight lines. If you can't make a straight line, just use a ruler. And then I said you can just make the arrow. I said this is going to be the center line, my grain line. I will do both arrows both ways. Then my notch line. Then the X makes for the where you're going to be putting the pant loops, and then the other notch line. And then the next thing you're going to do is I'm going to write all this on here. And I would suggest probably using a pen or pencil. And right now I think all my pens are dead, so I'm going to be in front of the camera. Oh. Sorry about that. Okay. I would suggest you use a pen because sometimes you may not see a pencil. So you're going to write everything on here. So I'm going to write this is center front. Then I'm going to write on here, write grain line here. Then you're going to write on here, find a nice good spot. You're going to write the name of the pattern, McCall. And its number. And what size this is going to be. So I'm going to write size 14. And then I'm going to write on here, front, waistband. You're going to write for A, B, and C. So you know if you do decide to do the other ones, you know this will be for A, B, and C. Which and you're going to cut. You're going to write B and C for the I'm going to actually that's I know a cut line is not really straight right there, so I'm going to cut that. There we go. Make sure I didn't have it really curved there. You can write it on here like for B and C because I guess B and C only has the belt loops on here. So, and that's everything I'm going to be writing for that one. So when I cut out my piece, I know this one is, oh yeah, the next one you also want, it's a pattern number. And this is pattern number 6. So when I get everything together, I know what size I'm going to need. I can grab my, and it's going to tell me which pattern I'm going to use with all of these. Then I can grab the right numbers. Because I don't want to end up grabbing 2 5s instead of a 6 and a 5. And I'm going to be doing that for the rest of these. So at this point, let me So at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and end the video. Excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and end the video. As I said, Now, as before, you can choose your, either you're going to do it in the paper form or doing it in the muslin form. It's your choice. If you're just doing the patterns just for yourself and that is it, and you want a permanent copy, a copy like this, you just want to constantly use, and you know it's not going to keep shredding the moment you start using it. This is the way, but either way, both of these will go. It's just when you use this on when you start cutting out the pieces, just make sure you don't stretch the fabric. Just make sure it's laying on there nice and straight. But as you can see here, I also did it on here as well. This is a different pattern though. I wrote, just in case I want the pattern again, I know it's under simplicity, and I also know as well the pattern, the simplicity pattern this is, and it's written on here, so I know, okay, I'm going to buy this pattern one more time. I'm going to get the tissue, basically the tissue paper fabric, the tissue paper pattern, and I know what number it is. And then, you know, probably by the time I decide to go get a new one, they will no longer have Alright, as you've seen, how to do one of these, and I'm giving you, you have your own choice how you want to do it. Either you can do it in the paper form, or you can do it in the fabric form. And either way, you still got to make sure all your lines are on here, on both your patterns. I would suggest if you wish to do it in the fabric, it'll be the fabric just for you. You're just cutting it out just for yourself, and only for yourself. So you can cut straight through the size you need and keep that size at all times. And you don't need the other patterns. But if you ever decide to change your mind and you want to cut different patterns, cut the same ones but different sizes, at least on the fabric itself, fabric or on the paper, you have written on there what type of pattern you got it from and the pattern number. So you can actually go back to Joann's or wherever you got your pattern piece, even online, you know what the number is when you go look it up. And because you got your Simplicities, you got your McCalls, you got your Buttericks, you got Vogues, I mean there's several different patterns out there. You just want to make sure you write down where you got the pattern from, so it'll be quick and easy to find, as well as the number. Since I'm doing a whole bunch of them, that's why I'm going to do it all in paper form. And as I said, where you can get this paper, construction paper at, you can go to any hardware store you have. They will have it. They will have those there. And they also have it in different colors. You don't have to get it brown. I think there's a red one, like a rusty color. I think there might be a blue one, but I just know there's a tan and a rusty red one. And when you start doing everything, just make sure you have your stick pin. You have a rotary so you can make all your lines with. A marker to do those little crease areas where you have to readjust the sizes. And a pin and pair of scissors. All right. As when you decide how you want to cut out your pattern pieces, either it be in the construction paper which one you can get it at any hardware store. They'll have it near, I think, near where Plaster Wood is all the wood. I believe they're mainly over there. But Axon one, they'll point it out to you. And there's two different colors and width, so I usually go with the bigger one. Doesn't matter which one you get as long as the construction paper you can write on. And as I said, you can have your choice with the construction paper as well as doing it in the muslin itself. I would suggest if you're going to do the muslin, this be the permanent size that you're going to make for yourself. I would suggest in these. And when you do finally cut them out, make sure, as I said, before you remove the pattern itself from the fabric, write everything down and make sure all the lines are on there. Because if the lines are not on there, you have no clue where the grain line is on here, and because you got to make sure it goes with the grain line. As well as your notches. If the notches are not there, you will have no idea where to attach the fabric to one pattern to the other. So, and definitely serge them, because if you don't serge them, it's going to start fraying on you and fraying and fraying and fraying, and you don't want that on your permanent piece. So definitely serge. If you don't have a serger, I definitely suggest to go with paper. And also make sure you have your stick pins, your roller, pair of scissors, your pen or paper, pen or pencil, your choice of how you want to write everything on here. If you want, you can use a marker, or you can use the pencil to mark everything, or a pen. Either you have those three choices, how you want to write everything or make all your lines. As for the table, if you don't have a table that you do stick pins in, just make sure everything, you probably can tape it down, but if you're doing that, it's going to rip your unfortunately going to rip the tissue paper. So find a table like a Homosoap table, which is what I use right now. They're very hard to get and hard to find, and you can only get them in one size. You can probably get them to cut it for you. If they can't cut it for you, fortunately, you're gonna carry a big slouch of board with you to take home. Or the other thing you can get is plasterboard. It's another thing you can stick your pins in, and they do come in different sizes that I have seen. So you can actually get one small enough, but you want it wide enough to make sure your fabric connects. Hey, I'm sorry about the ending of this video. I know at the ending I was talking about the plasterboard of the table. As I said, you can use plasterboard or just Homosoap table. So, and they're great for anything about laying down on fabrics. So you can get it comes in one size, so at least a Homosoap table. So, anyways, I'm very sorry about the ending. I know it's a totally different ending because the ending of that video somehow got cut up and weird and voice completely out of sync of the video. So who knows what happened. So that's why the ending, why you have this ending now. So I'm going to say, don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button down below. I hope you enjoyed that video, how to make the patterns, extra patterns for yourself, and enjoy. So, as I said, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button again, and don't forget to tell your friends and family. Check out all my other videos as well. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, so let everybody know, and don't forget to hit also the notification button so you know when my videos are coming out. So At this point, Poochie Poo signing off, and have a great day.